All right, let's get into it. Tonight, we're cracking open the official playbook for what might just be the most serious competition you've never heard of, Quad Night. So if you think you know what a casual game night looks like, think again. This is a whole other level. And believe me, this one is no exception. We've gotten a look at the sacred document that guides every single play, every tough call, and every epic victory. Okay, let's dive right in. So first things first, what exactly is Quad Night? Well, you can't just call it a game night. It's really more like a league, an entire institution that's all built around one single powerful idea. And that idea is the number 4. 4 is the heart of it all. It's the foundation, the core. Seriously, everything about this night revolves around this one number. You can see it right here in the league charter. It's simple, but it's set in stone. You've got 4 friends. It always happens on one specific day of the week, Thursday. And the battleground, the arena for this weekly showdown, it's always Fortnite. That's the bedrock right there, unbreakable. So you've got the setup, but how does that actually translate into the game? Well, this isn't some chaotic free-for-all. Every single match starts with a very strict official procedure. These are the rules of engagement. And this rule, right here, it tells you everything you need to know about the philosophy of Quad Night. It is not about one person's ego. The very first move of the game is a vote. 3 out of 4 have to agree. Majority rules, and the squad drops as a single unit. No lone wolves allowed here. And this protocol, it's followed with almost military precision. You mark your spot, you wait for any real-world stuff to get sorted, and we'll get to that in a second, and then you land together and you stay together. It's all about unity from the moment you jump out of that bus. But, just like in the big leagues, you can't have a plan for absolutely everything. And that's why the playbook has a whole section for those weird, special circumstances, these unique provisos and clauses for when things get complicated. So, first up is the Tate Proviso. Now, this is a really fascinating exception to the rule. That whole stay together mandate, it can be bent for one player and one player only. Tate, and only if he's trying to complete a specific in-game challenge. It's a cool little clause that respects individual missions, but only within the larger team framework. Then you have the Canine clause, which is just proof that no matter how serious the game gets, real life still happens. If Stump or Craig has to let the dog out, the game literally waits. The whole team agrees to a late drop just so nobody starts at a disadvantage. See? Even a puppy potty break is a coordinated team strategy. Okay, this is where things get really intense. Every great sports night has to come to an end, right? But on Quad Night, you don't just stop when you're tired. Oh no, it is way, way more complicated than that. Check out this timeline. Before 11 p.m., it's game on, business as usual. But the second that clock hits 11 p.m., everything changes. Any player can now officially call it, this is the last game. And when they do, a whole new set of rules kicks in. And yeah, that right there is the million-dollar question. Because calling the last game is one thing, but actually getting the night to end? That's a whole other story. So, the main rule is pretty straightforward. For the night to actually be over, the squad has to finish in the top 5. Anything less than that, and that last game call means nothing. You just reload and go again. You do not end the night on a bad game, unless you trigger one of the 2 most legendary exceptions in the playbook. These are the championship clauses, and they are where Quad Night legends are truly born. First up, the Jordan rule. This is just beautiful and brutal. If your team actually wins the last game, guess what? You're not done. You've just made things harder on yourself. Now you are forced to keep playing until you lose. The only way to escape is to pull off a three-peat, win 3 games in a row. And then there's the agonizing Bills rule. If you finish second in that last game, you're now stuck in a loop. You have to play over and over again until you get any result other than second place. The only way out is to endure the heartbreak of finishing second 4 times in a row. So let's just lay them out side by side. The Jordan rule is a challenge of dominance. You trigger it with a win, and you have to prove it wasn't a fluke. The Bills rule, on the other hand, is a test of sheer will, triggered by a near miss and forcing you to wallow in it. And that's really the heart of it all. It's not about playing until someone gets sleepy. It's about meeting a specific, difficult standard. The night doesn't just fizzle out. The ending has to be earned. It ends on their terms and their terms only. A rulebook this detailed and, let's be honest, this ridiculous, it really makes you think, doesn't it? Every friend group has its own weird traditions, its own inside jokes that somehow become law. So it leaves me with one question for you. What are the unwritten rules of your game night? What's that one weird thing that makes it yours?